Hello everyone and welcome back. It has been a while. I was just looking, it was something like I haven't been on since like February 12th. My kids decided to go absolutely feral, and last week was just not a good week. Even with Dawson, it was just like, it was a really hard week. So I was kind of voluntold that I was going to have a break. The other thing that's really shifted since I became in this postpartum period is my PMS converts very much to PM rage now, and it's just very unpleasant. And so last week was just not a good week all around. Anyway, that's not what you're here for. I'm Katie. This is Atelier Nekozuki. Tonight we are working on getting some of the fabrics cleared off of the cutting table because I need the cutting table to cut pick your own orders, because I need to get them cleared off so that we can get into prepping for the month of April. I've already given Dallas a heads up. I'm like, so March is a hunker down month, and basically I'm just putting my head down and I am working for the whole month, because I am not going to have any breathing space in April, or very, very little. So what we've done recently is we've sorted through a lot of the scraps that I've had and like stuff that's just kind of been hanging around a little bit. I haven't finished up the stuff that's been hanging around as much, or at least the stuff that like headed out into the studio. But we've done a really good job of getting scraps and stuff in the actual sewing studio, if not completely like busted, like sorted. These scraps here are a good chunk of that, and what they're going to end up becoming is pencil pouches. And that's kind of where my energy level is at right now as well, is like just get this stuff done. I do have a lot of new stuff coming. I plotted a bunch of new things out. Hello, Flynn. Okay, that looks like a small, that looks large enough to be a small box bag or something like that. So we could actually make one. Close enough. We can make one of those lined drawstring bags out of it. It doesn't really need to be ironed. You don't need to be ironed. I don't know why you're in this pile. Well, you know what? The less I have to iron, the better. Now, not all of these are going to become pencil pouches. Some of these are going to actually be notions pouches, and etc. And basically we need to iron them so that I can get a more accurate I need to be able to get accurate cuts, obviously. So that's what we're working on right now, is getting them ironed so that we can get accurate cuts. Flynn, why do you have to lay on the pile that I'm going to be working on? Why couldn't you lay on the pile that's like already ironed? Oh, that's kind of a rhetorical question, isn't it? Now, I did find another box of like small cuts, so like what used to be small wedge bag and is currently small box bag as well. I did find a box of those cuts, and so we can pull a lot of those to actually end up making lined drawstring bags as well. I did get tags sorted out for them too, which is super exciting. They're actually with a local Calgary company called Spotted Zebra Engraving, and so they're currently getting made, something like 50 or something like that. So nothing too crazy, but enough to kind of like get this first batch done and dusted, which is exciting. I know 50 sounds like a lot probably to a lot of makers, but like for me that's, well, that's 2 good production runs basically, typically. Do I sell all of those first time out of the gate? Typically not. The only thing that has done that has been the Kato. So, alright, so a lot of these will end up being needle stashers and notions pouches. Yeah, I'll just put those into needle stashers and notions pouches because that's what it looks like those sizings are. That's a nice square. What was that intended for? Okay, and then that is a scrap for my friend. Restart Tara's pile. And yes, when you hear the pile or Tara's pile, pile is totally capitalized. Okay. So this is the rest that needs to actually be ironed. That is not as much as I anticipated it being, actually. So this is what was intended to be a drawstring bag, but it's only been serged on the bottom. So we're just going to iron it, and we're going to set it aside to do a lined drawstring bag with. And yes, we're going to set it aside for now. Because realistically, I have a bunch of other bags that need to be finished first here. And should I really be focusing on the pencil pouches? Probably not, but they are so fast, and I need a win right now. So, speaking of wins, I did actually get, so I was out for brunch with Tara the other week. There is something on that I'm going to need to investigate. Could just be a coffee splurk, but we'll check later. Oh, lovely cat. Just what we wanted to see tonight. Yeah, you're good. Okay, so this is actually Kimono fabric that came in a like little bag. I just realized though I don't know. I can't iron it on the settings I'm in right now. So we'll pop it into the scrap bin and deal with it in a little bit. I just realized too. Okay, so this was intended to actually be a grime guard, but do you know what I could do with it? Is I could actually make it into wristlets instead. I would need to seam rip it, but it would look really good as wristlets. So let's iron this down again. Oh, it's really not happy about with its creases here. It's definitely, I think seam ripping it will be a necessity just to get everything flattened out again, and that's okay. So Dallas and I were chatting again about when we'll be heading to Japan, because of course that's a pretty common thing right now. We both really want to get back. And we had been discussing that we'd go next February. However, I was looking really like eyeballing how much I would have to take off my marathon time to be able to complete Kyoto. And I just went, I don't think I can take off over an hour from my marathon time in the next year. Like realistically, I might be able to if that's what I really dedicated myself to. But life is busy. And like I was supposed to go for my long run today. Did I? No. Because I was driving around picking up stuff to do tote bags with instead. Which is fine, but that's just the reality of it right now too. This is a large box bag cut, and although it was initially intended for a large box bag, we're going to make a kato bag out of it. So let's just fold this up. Anyway, so we were looking at it. The other thing is that flights in February to Japan are horrendously expensive. And we were both looking at it like, why is it so expensive to go to Japan in February? Like it's like peak season costs. And then we realized that for like, especially the West Coast and a lot of other areas, traveling into Japan and Asia, Narita is a hub airport, which means that Lunar New Year is going to be affecting plane ticket costs. And like when I say affecting plane ticket costs, I've talked about this before. I typically can get a flight to Japan for anywhere from like 1,000 round trip to about 1,200 round trip. The 1,000 end being my like cheap end from Calgary, not direct, usually layover in YVR, which is Vancouver, blah blah blah, whatever. So when I'm saying they're expensive, it's like $2,500 is what we would be looking at to go in February. Now, that's fine as long as we're prepared for it. We are not prepared for that cost next year, and I'm like not without me pretty much guaranteeing myself being able to finish that marathon. So we're going to postpone. The other thing is that gives us time to like not have to pay full cash if we don't have, like, we don't want to. We want to pay with points if we can. So it gives a chance for WestJet to actually, like, extend their direct season even more, because that would be, like, the best solution. Or for us to collect enough points to be able to get everyone over there. Because at this point, I don't even have enough, like, air miles to get us there. So, and I was very diligently collecting those to take 4. But, whatever. Okay, we're down to, like, ironing the lining fabric, pretty much. So, that was a couple factors in the decision. Mostly, I don't think I would be able to get the time down. Second, just the financial, like, aspect of it. That doesn't mean I'm not looking at a way to get to Japan in, like, the fall. So, we'll see. I'm poking at that one to see if I can do it or not. I don't know if I will be able to. It'll depend on how this year goes for the business, obviously. It wouldn't be really for, like, cotton fabrics and stuff like that, but, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but the stitch markers need to be restocked. And I'm thinking, especially if I get focused in on the Obi and Kimono makes, I will be needing to go back for a restock on them. Alright, so this, I finally figured out what I'm going to do with these offcuts from the geisha bags that I had for a while, and we're going to do the pencil pouch from them. Because I think it's almost tempting to, like, cut this into 4. Because then these ladies could be, like, on the front. Except then it'd be offset. But that'd be kind of cool, because then you could... Yeah, I think maybe these will be offset ones, just because why not? These ones I won't be able to do that with. We'll just work with what we have. Actually, this one is not even wide enough the whole way to do that with. Okay, so maybe that might become a wristlet or something like that then. Except that when you fold that in... Okay, let's do a mock-up right now since I've got it on the sewing, or on the ironing board. Okay, so there... It'd be a very nice soft wristlet, that's for sure. You get most of it, her, but this side. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, so we'll trim that down, and that's what we'll do with that, is make a wristlet, which are now under Flynn, because of course he's just like, I am going to lay everywhere you need to be today. Okay, and then there's, like, cupboard cats, wave cats. Yeah, so I do apologize for my absence, but hoping I come back stronger. The other thing is February is always, like, a really tough month for me. I've never been diagnosed with, like, SAD, but I do think that could be a factor in it. It's also really weird this year because technically it's still winter and outside is not winter. And that's not helping that whole mental situation and anxiety, that's for sure. Although I did run outside the other day and that was amazing. So kind of like, well, if it's going to be mucked up weather, I may as well be using it to my advantage. So running outside as much as possible. The weird thing though is, like, we've had just enough snow, or I guess not weird but annoying part, it's like we've had just enough snow that there's still enough that's melting, and, like, making it slippery outside. It's just like, so I can't go out. As soon as I've dropped the kids off, I, like, have to wait until the middle of the day, and that's how I ended up not going for a run today. It was also the wind was strong and absolutely miserable today. I know, all the excuses under the sun, but those were the ones that I allowed myself to use today. I did, however, go and sign up for the gym again, so that, because I think that's one of the big things I need. And, like, I've got at-home free weights, but it's not going to be the same as being able to use, like, a squat machine and stuff like that. So we'll see if I stay diligent with that. I am excited. What we did discuss is that we may go down and do the Disneyland half marathon next year, because the cost of that is significantly less than going to Japan, and blah blah blah. But their proof of time this year is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So now I need to train over the summer. My first half is in May, and then I have a second half in September in Canmore, and that one has a 3-hour suggested cutoff. It's not a hard cutoff, but it's suggested cutoff. But I want to be a 2.5-hour half at either Calgary or Canmore. Canmore would be awesome because it looks like a pretty tough trail. Easier than Fernie, but still not without its challenges. So yeah, the goal this year is to get my half marathon down to 2:25, hopefully. Between 2:25 and 2.5. So that I can submit a proof of time to do if we go to Disneyland. If, that's still a big if as well. We're kind of hemming and hawing a bit about it too. Okay, this looks like it is also not actually wide enough. I thought I checked these before I put them into the pile. Oh, this one is just barely. So I think what we're going to do in this case, oh, she's not in the right spot. Oh, she kind of is. So you'd see like half of her on the front. Okay. That's better than nothing. Alright, well that was all the ironing that we needed to do tonight, because the rest of the ironing that we need to do is like to put interfacing onto wristlets, which is a completely different project. So let's unplug, and then I'll shimmy us around to the other side of the sewing table, and we can start cutting the planner pouches. Should have actually grabbed the stuff for this, but we'll do that later. Alright, I'm going to pause. I'll put you on intermission so that you can see Flynn, and just also mute the mic. I'll be right back. One moment. Let's see if he'll actually chat with you or not. I don't know. Hi. Can you say hi? Hi. Oh, don't eat the mic. Okay, we'll stop it there then. Don't need him destroying the mic. Alright, Knit City scene. Alright, so that should be at a good level. It looks like it is. I'm just going to scoot it up. Sorry, there we go. Alright, so while I was out there, I also grabbed actually the book cover, because that would be something that would be good to like actually take a look at getting done tonight as well, or at least the next prototype done. So this is it with a manga in it. Obviously manga aren't exactly like maybe the best indicator of size in North America. That is a trade paperback, which fits really nicely. So I am going to basically make it to the trade paperback size, because I think that's going to be like the most useful, and then the manga will fit in there as well. Now we are not going to be using this, well, and actually this fits like this smaller hardback size as well. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to add an extra inch, I think an extra inch on top, but I'm really happy with the width overall. Yeah, we're going to add an extra inch on top, because then that will actually give us enough room to add a snap in, right? Doesn't need to be 1.5 inches. It needs to be like 1 inch more. Yeah, 1 inch more, and then we can put the snap in at like the 3/4 to 1/2 inch, at the 1/2 inch mark. Almost does, it needs to be like 1.25 inches more maybe, so that then the snap can be at the 3/4 mark. Yeah, okay, so we'll do 1.25 inches higher, but I do like the width because that will fit a lot of different sizes, and then this will be like I guess the medium size basically, and maybe I will make a smaller size. I don't know, but it's good. So we're going to do plus 1.25 inches on book sleeve height. Okay, and then we want to make it I think it's the right width. Yeah. So and it's basically a sheet of paper. That's actually kind of funny. Well, I think that might be too large. Now I'm just going to use the book for like reference, although, okay, so this one, okay, right, because so we didn't box the bottom, so that's not taken into account until you actually put the book in. So basically that takes however much off the actual height as well. So like in this case, 1 inch. Yeah, so that took up like 1 inch. Well, whatever. Yeah, I still think another 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches above it's going to be the best. So it's going to be like, close this up, and then, because otherwise there's still not going to be enough room to put the like snap in. So if I do 1.5 inches, but like I said, that's going to be really tall. But there's enough width and stuff like that that really it's going to be able to fit a lot of different books. What were the suggested sizes on this? Because there have been people who have, hi buddy. I don't know why I'm like trying to reinvent the wheel, but apparently I am. Oh, right, because, well, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but the ones that I was seeing, the one that I saw with snaps, didn't connect to the pattern properly. That's what it was. She has it like linked to her Etsy, but the Etsy doesn't go to the right. To the right pattern, and there is no other pattern in the shop for book sleeves. That's right. Okay, so we're just going to do exactly what I was thinking I was going to do. Minus a 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we're not going to use the foam, like I said. We're going to use batting instead, because I think that's going to give it, it's going to give it some padding, but it's not going to be quite as like stiff and overwhelming as it is in the first one. The first one is fine, but it will be better with batting, I think. This is not fusible batting. It's actually leftover cotton batting from doing my quilting board. But I think it's still going to work. Okay, I'm just going to put this over here. Why are you? Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get this rolling for the other things that we're planning to do today, namely the pencil pouches. Although that's good to look over that. Actually, we'll just, what am I doing? I will cut one of those as well. We have a bunch of fabric that like works. We need an 8x22 cut for interior and exterior, 8x11 times 2. So let's have a look. It is only 20 after 10 and I am so done with the day already. Well, I'm saying that like it hasn't been a full day already, but you know what I mean. I don't know where my energy has gone, but like I used to be able to just go and go and go and go and go. And recently that get up and go has got up and gone. Just gone. It's like, see ya later. You don't need me anymore, right? Okay, that is just ever slightly too small. That is going to be too small as well. These cuts here, I do actually know what they are, and these are all large box bags here. So we're going to pop them on top of the box here because I don't know which box under there is actually the large box bags. But we're a step closer to having them organized, and so I feel better. Okay, and then these are all large box bags as well. You know, at least they're off the cutting table. That is a step in some direction. These are going to be lining fabrics. That looks like a wristlet if I ever saw one. And then these cuts are all too small and wristlets as well. This guy is a Kato cut. I do know that pile under that right there is the Kato. And actually, I think this cut right here will work for the book sleeve. Let's see. It does. Excellent. Alright, so we just need to cut down the one side, and then we'll find a lining piece for it somewhere, and then we'll cut the batting. Okay, cat. You are perfectly within the way, because, you know, when is he not? And throw this up here. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, so this is the Stripology quilt ruler, which is an investment piece that I just made. Yeah, I am enjoying it so far. Okay, so we're going to cut it down this way first. Yeah. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it down here. This is this. Basically I'm going to line it up on the grid on my actual cutting mat as best I can. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna, because we got a little bit of wiggle room here, we will square it up as best we can on this edge. On the 0 mark, basically, is what I mean by that. There we go. All right. Like this. And then we're going to cut it to the width suggested. Yeah. To the suggested width. There you go. And there's a nice strip for our strip box now. And then I'm going to just pull this stoof out here. This looks way too small, but you know, we'll trust the process for now. And then we're going to shimmy this up. And the only reason I'm doing that, adding this onto my actual work pile right now, is because I know it is like ridiculously fast. So it's one of those projects where all of the time is spent in prep work, basically. Which, fair enough. Oh, is it actually big enough? This is saying nah. Okay, it just barely is. So I'm going to just, no, we can't, we don't even have any trim up on the top edge here. We literally just cut it in half later. Okay, sweet. All right, so there's that done. Then we'll cut the interior. And yes, I am still learning how to use this ruler. I'm sure I will get more efficient with it as we go here. And if I don't, well, that's my own damn fault. Okay, so we're going to cut it this way, because then we get that by that still. I know it's totally not how it works, but I really do wish there was a way for it to like be a... honestly, what I probably should do is I should mark my most popular markers on it, and then it would make my life easier. Maybe. The whole point of this was to make my cutting life easier. So we'll see if that actually follows through, or if that's a bunch of bull hucky. Okay, I do have to actually cut it this way. So that's the length. Then we'll move it and cut the width. The main thing I'm really interested in seeing how it works for is like, we're going to go through and do a bunch of multiple cuts for these pencil pouches. So how does it do in that case? So I do feel like it's going to make me a little bit more accurate versus like, well, and part of this was that I wanted to move away from the paper templates because like those get degraded very rapidly all the time. So that's why we're using this tripology ruler instead and just seeing if that works better or not. I guess we'll find out pretty soon, to be honest. Alright, so we're currently just working on getting cuts done for a book cover, and then we're going to be moving into cutting pencil pouches, because moving this massive pile that is behind Flynn, who is a giant cat, this is the pile, of pencil pouches cleared out of the way is going to be an immense help in getting my cutting table cleared off. And then on Monday we can cut and start sewing pick your own orders. At least that's the current plan. I do apologize for the delay on just getting back online. My kids decided to go feral last week, actually for like the last 2 weeks, and so it just has felt impossible to like do anything really. So I guess I had a bit of a forced hiatus because it was a rough week. But can we like, what moon phase are we in? I don't even know. It's like it's also coincided with like the absolute worst week for PMS for me. And it's like Dallas was joking that they feel a weakness basically, and I'm like, yep. And it's not every month, it's like once a quarter. And apparently this was our once a quarter. February is also just like, I'm never in the mood for February. It's the absolute worst month for me. So I think that's part of it too, is maybe they can sense some of that too. They are actually fairly sick, which is not going to help anything either. And by fairly sick, I mean that they had like a bunch of colds, kind of like all back to back. And I don't know if that actually cut or not. It did not. Anyway, there we go. So they had a bunch of colds back to back, and like their coughs just have not cleared up. So I finally took them to the doctor on Tuesday, and she's like, yes. And normally, like, we wouldn't be too worried about it and do like a wait and see sort of approach. But when we've done wait and see with them in the past, they've ended up with pneumonia. I think mostly post COVID-19, basically. What my doctor was saying is that they're being a lot more cautious. So they're on some very gentle antibiotics to just kind of clear it up. She's like, the wait and see approach works with you. And I'm like, yes, because I can tell you how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like crap, I'm responsible for letting you know that. But they are unable to tell us. Because here's the thing. Even now, or then, like, the cough was terrible, but you couldn't tell they were sick. So, anyway, eldest is on a puffer, Ventolin, and like I said, some gentle antibiotics. I just realized that this is actually supposed to be a ½ inch smaller. Actually, in ½ inch on like both sides, because we want it to like, I don't want to sew it in, well, no, this is light enough that we can sew it into the, do we sew it into the seam allowances or do we leave it out? If I leave it out, it will be less bulky. So let's leave it out for now. With this one, let's try leaving it out. So it needs to be a ½ inch smaller, which is good because I was already cutting it a ½ inch smaller. Not by choice, just by that ruler does not like going through 4 layers of batting, and I can't really blame it. So that's fine. All right, there we go. All right, so that means that we need to do, this has handy dandy ½ inch marks. So let's cut this down so it's squared up. There we go. Then we're going to go here and wait. So if it's a ½ inch seam allowance, There are 2 half-inch seam allowances, which means we need to take a full inch off. Right. Okay. Yes. I was just like, is that off of the actual top? But yes, it will be off the actual top as well because, yeah, reasons. Okay, good. I don't think I messed it up yet. Mathing at 10:30 at night is hard. Mathing at 10:30 in the morning is hard. I don't even dislike math. It's just hard. Okay, so we're going to square this up a bit better again. Anyway, so yeah, so they are definitely feeling better after the kids are definitely feeling better after the antibiotics, but now they are also on that tail end of like, well, now we're feeling better, so we have all this extra energy because we got cabin fever. It's just like, oh, I should have checked to see what her seam allowance was on this suggested. Yeah, anyway, I just can't win with it right now. Oh, she's got it on her video, not in the... Okay, so here's one of my pet peeves. I love video tutorials. But, when there is a, like, blog post afterwards, I really appreciate if, like, the full tutorial is written out. Because I don't always have the mind space or desire to watch it as a video. I guess what I could see is I could just see what she suggests to cut the batting size to. Oh, she only takes a half-inch off. Okay, so I did cut it off too much on the top. Okay, well we'll take less off on the sides, and that's fine. Batting's a little bit stretchy anyway, so maybe we'll just kind of finesse it a little bit to the top here. All right. Anyway, there is a book sleeve cut that we'll take out and sew after. Oh yeah, that's not bad. We can deal with that. It's like, yeah, and I can stretch that a little bit to make up for the... Definitely. Okay, sweet. We're going to throw that under the iron again because I do find that if you, at least with the polyester batting, I think I was using polyester at Christmas, I find that if you iron it, it kind of sticks everything together and makes life easier. And yeah, nice. Okay, so that is, we're squared up. So let's get cutting on the pencil pouches, since that is actually what we're here to do, is tackle that giant pile that's behind Flynn. Excuse me. And we'll just slowly shuffle it out from behind him. Those cuts are all for like wristlets. That looks like another Kato cut. And this is set aside for stuff. Oh, and there's my notes on the embroidery project. So I do need to do that here as well. Start a second Tara pile because the other one's like over there, and that's not going to work for throwing like batting scraps over to. Okay. These are also intended to be, so when I say planner or pencil pouches right now, these are planner pencil pouches. So they have the elastic on the back so you can wrap them around a planner pouch. Pretty straightforward, but you know, just in case that wasn't obvious. Like, it's just saying pencil pouch too isn't going to make it very obvious what I'm actually doing. So, okay, we're going to cut lining fabrics later. I'm going to just, and actually we already have one of these guys. So I think we'll set it aside for notions pouches. I don't think you're big enough. I think you were intended to be it's really, really close, but not quite close enough. So that is a wristlet. All right. Already down like 3 fabrics. All right, so what I'm going to do to make my life easier with these is I'm going to stack them, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the smallest on top, kind of. Now, are these large enough? Yes, they are large enough to be cut down. Now, the question is do I make the pencil pouch a little bit larger? I could make, no, because that doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's line it up to this mark here. Actually, let's do a bigger stack than that, and then I can just cut down a bunch all at once. That was the whole point. Being able to do this way. Okay. All these like throwback scraps. It's amazing. Okay. And since these are scraps, we're just going to work with them however they come to me. Okay, it just needs to be cut down in length. So that means that directional prints will work with them as best as we can, but like there's actually no guarantees exactly what we end up getting done, basically. All right, so we know that this top edge is the edge, basically, so that's what we're going to line up with. And the first cut that we're going to do is actually a length cut anyway, so that's good. So we're going to pop it right here. We'll square everything up based on this ruler, which is actually kind of nice because it's a little bit larger than any of the pieces that I'm cutting. A little bit. It is larger. So we should actually get a better squaring up than with the the ruler that I've been getting or using, which is the 24 by 3.5. Sweet. I do think I might end up needing to get a little bit larger rotary cutter. Yeah, a larger blade. That would make sense because then, yeah. Why that would make sense is because the actual like ruler is quite thick, and so being able to cut through all these fabrics would be a lot easier with like a 60 millimeter rotary cutter than a 45 millimeter rotary cutter. It's not something that I've really ever been worried about before because like fabric slips when you cut it. Quite often it does. Okay, I just had some doubt about what this measurement actually is, so let me just double check to make sure that, nope, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because then they get sewn together in the back. So in some cases it would actually be better to like I was like, maybe even in this case. Sorry, that's why I went silent. I was like going to be like, oh, we might not need to cut down this polar bear. But unfortunately, the polar bear is like 1 inch too small for this pattern. So, and I don't really want to make them any less wide. They're already pretty skinny. Alrighty, there we go. We're good. Anyway, yeah, definitely a 60 millimeter rotary cutter would be nice. Just to make up the difference for the acrylic ruler depth, basically. Alright, so now those are a bunch of strips that we can use in the strip factory for book sleeves for later. Go. I should just move that scrap bin over here. Will I? No. No, I probably will not. Flynn's like, what are you doing? Throwing things over my head. Okay, now that does look like... Okay, so this one needs to be squared up on top as well. And then we'll do the squaring up of the... Yeah, no. So I finished listening to This Savage Song or something like that. Our Savage Song. Anyway, it's definitely This Savage Song, I think, by V.E. Schwab. I really enjoy V.E. Schwab's writing, but I would say personally this was the least strong of their bibliography at this point. Could be that it was YA, but the thing is that they've also written Gallant, which was also YA and was amazing. So I'm not I don't think it was a genre problem. I think it's one of the earlier books that they wrote, and that might be the bigger issue, is they hadn't quite found their stride or something like that. That's what it feels like. But anyway, it was okay. Such a glowing review. Yeah, I think it's mostly just they hadn't found their voice yet, really. Very interesting concept. Enjoyed that part. I did enjoy the first book, but now there's a second book, and I'm just it could also just be my mood. I just might not want to be listening to it right now either. I'll probably come back to it in a while and see, because sometimes that's how it goes. It's not today, but later for sure. Alright, so there is the first set cut. That was super smooth. My goodness. I did just realize I shouldn't overcut these, just so it's yeah, I shouldn't overcut these, just so we don't get overstocked on them either, because they are so fast and easy to sew. And I do have a lot of stock of supplies, but better not to overdo it. Okay. Anyway, there's some cute options. I'm not going to be... Sorry, I thought I heard a baby, but we're good. Not a baby, but you know what I mean. A young one. Anyway, I'm not going to be super picky, but I will be selective in what we use here, I guess. Maybe is the better wording. I know I definitely want the pears, and I want the crabs, and I want this black cat, and I want the geisha here, and I want the sakura, and I want cats and dogs living together if it's wide enough up here. If not, this is going to become a super cute wristlet. It is wide enough, but I think that might actually be a better wristlet. I think there's probably enough here we could make 2. Because, yeah, that would be, friggin' adorable. It wouldn't be quite like that, but I could probably fold it so it's fold it, fold it, fold. Yes, and then there's a whole set of animals on one side. And we can definitely get 2 out of that. So let's do a wristlet. Okay, we're gonna do, standing cats. Which is right on the edge as well. So do we do that, or do we do a wristlet from them? I think it's too large a print for a wristlet to have, it wastes too much of the print, basically. Let's see. Explore this option with me. Yeah, no, we'll make it work. Because the thing is, too, that would need almost about an inch cut off of it to actually make a wristlet work. So, no. No, you're good. Cake cozies, though. Yes. Yes? Oh. Actually, what size are you? You might... No, you are a drawstring bag size. I don't know if you will work for lining. Peaches? Do we want peaches as a pencil pouch? Or should we make notions? No, this should be notions pouches. Those are like perfect notions pouch cuts. Yeah, they actually are. They're a little bit tall, but whatever, we'll make it work. It's fine, it's supposed to be scrappy. Okay, so those are notions pouches. And actually, this and this should be notions pouches as well. Just because of their directionality, they're going to work really, really well for that. And then we'll make a pencil pouch out of one of the sushi neko. Where did I start putting notions pouches? Damn it. I had a pile. Okay, where should I start putting these notions pouches? And we'll put it over here on the miscellaneous pile. Oh yeah, in case you saw the post earlier and it looked photoshopped, because I looked at the photos afterwards and I'm like, oh, that does look like some sort of bad Vistaprint Photoshop or something. These are the new tote bags. So they're super cute. I really like how they came out. They're a DTF, so it's like a direct to film. So basically it's ink with the glue on the back. A lot softer than an actual vinyl transfer, and obviously this would be way too many layers to try and do a heat transfer vinyl with. Stretchy, so you can fill it up. And these tote bags are really nice too, because they've got because I love them and I can't do without them, they've got the box bottoms as well, so they've got a nice, they're a nice big tote bag. But anyway, a friend and I were out for brunch last week, and she's like, you know what's a really good marketing tool? A cute tote bag. And I just had this complete mind-blowing moment, because I was like, I've got a cute logo. And I'm really shocked that the turnaround was so fast, because it was really fast turnaround. It was a local company, 2 Ink Printing. Did an amazing job. I think I got submitted on Wednesday, and I got notification yesterday that it was already ready. So I went down and picked it up today. It's really nice that it's even a pickup option available, because shipping on it was restrictive. I think it basically doubled the cost of what I would have had to put in instantly just with shipping. So being able to go pick up was way nicer. The wristlet too. Okay, where did I decide that? Or they're gonna go there. I feel like that looks like a good notions pouch as well, as long as it's cut down a little bit. A little bit short, but that's okay. Could either do that, or we could do a wristlet from it. No, this is too small for a wristlet. I think, oh, it's on the small side, yeah. Notion pouch. Those are all handles or potential handles. I need to get that bucket back in that I was using last year for the things and the other things. My goodness. Apparently my brain has gotten eaten in the last couple weeks too. Anyway, the smaller bin that we had in the larger bin to do the handles. That's what it was. I swear. It must be something that people don't tell you, because it's well, let's scare them off having kids. But everyone talks about pregnancy brain. Very few people talk about mom brain. And I am upset. I don't know if it's fully mom brain, or if it's the whole world situation, or getting older, or what, but it's just folks, my brain capacity, I swear, I typically do not sound this stupid. Or at least I didn't before kids, I don't think. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just lying to myself, but I don't feel like I am. But now it's like there's so many pauses and umming and ahhing, and it's just like, oh, it annoys me. So thanks for sticking with me through this, because holy, I don't know if I would be able to do it. I annoy myself. That's what it is. I annoy myself. So my goodness, angry apron cat totally needs to become a bag. A pencil pouch. Oh, excuse me. There's the last of the owly fabric. So this is one of the fabrics that I picked up in Tokyo when I was there with Dallas for the first like actual fabric buying trip. And this owl was one of my like highest liked posts on Instagram of all time. And it's why I picked the fabric out too. Okay. I'm not interested in making all of this pile into pencil pouches right now. We're going to make a good dent in it, but I think that's the best goal, is to make a dent in it. These need to be fussy cut a little bit. Actually, I think what we'll do, because there's one, definitely want capybara. We want to do the raindrop bears. I think fishing cats is a good option. Definitely want to make... Okay, so what do I have? Because here's the thing. This sassy cat is so large that making a notions pouch out of them would mean that you would end up with a very truncated sassy cat. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut these two in half. And then one's going to have two cats and one's going to have, or something. So I've also got the red, but I don't want to match purple and red because that just seems like too much. This one's a little bit easier because there's only one cat here that's really usable. Now, I don't typically go in for like a lot of fussy cutting and stuff like that, but in this case I probably will make an exception just simply because it's like, okay, you want to have as many cats as you can on this. This one is damn near perfect for like, yeah, okay, so we'll cut that one down in such a fashion that we end up with satisfactory cat placement, because then when you fold it, yeah, you're gonna get a peek. Oh, sorry, that's what's gonna be the fold on the one side. And then, so this would be the fold on the one side. So you'll end up with the majority of a cat on the one side, and then the fold on the other side. We'll make sure that like this cat is peeking out on the other side as well. Okay, cool. I can make that happen. That requires more thought than my brain has processing power for today. I don't want to mess that up. These badgers and the scooters actually don't need much of a cut down at all. We're not going to do the seam in the back, so they'll be a little bit different size because it won't have the seam in the back. But I'm pretty sure you can deal. These are all scrap projects. They're not going to be perfect. All right. This one also needs to be fussy cut, so we're going to pop it over there. That is just going to need to be cut down. Cut down. What else out of here do we want to make? This one has more scattered cats, so I do think we'll just go for it. Let's do two of them. Decide if we're going to do the other two. I want the sketchy cats. I don't want to deal with sewing piano cats right now because that is a very straight line to have to follow. We want Alice for sure. Coffee cup cats. That was not intended for that. This is... Excuse me. No, those are intended for wristlets. Are they long enough? Oh, they are. Sweet. Okay, more wristlets. I like how the wristlet pile's been like taken over by the frickin' planner pouch pile. I'm so meticulous about like making sure everything's sorted. There's the notions pouches. Apparently the planner pouches just want to take over. So you planner pouches can take over afterwards. Don't worry. Okay. I don't know why I'm talking to them like they're sentient. They are not, thank goodness. Can you imagine? Okay, these are all wristlets. Okay, and that's a wristlet, but we need to actually like seam rip it. Those are the notions pouches. Where did I decide to put the new ones? Over here. Okay. Hey, well that actually diminished that pile quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to also want to do these Frenchies. Oh, and these are basically half done, so we may as well do them. And then there's this one as well that's basically done. Or, well, it will look good. Okay, good enough. Am I cheating the system a little bit? Yes. Do I care right now? Not really. Okay, now is Alice a full piece or is it a strip as well? It's a strip. It's not tall enough. That way, okay. And actually, this festival print is like big enough that we probably can get two of from it, or we can get one and a notions pouch or something. So let's cut it down here with these guys. Actually, no, it is too. No, it needs more work. What about you? I don't think you're big enough. You're tall enough this way, but that would be. Okay. So if I cut it down this way, like I'm going to do with these other two, then it would fold in like this. In my head, it was folding in like this. But actually, I think I like it this way. Okay, what would I end up with if I actually cut it down that way? Doom. I think you get more bears this way, or more variety this way at least. But there's less waste the other way. No, I think it is actually better this way, because then you end up with like you end up with more bear action on the front. Yeah, because you end up with like a full strip of bears and bear cups. Okay, sweet. Although I think I will cut it this way so that we end up with like this aqua cup down here. All right. Now that I've done my dithering, wait. That might require more brain power than I have tonight. Let's cut these down. The brains. Although actually it is 11 o'clock, so I probably shouldn't be too much longer until I head out. I am hoping that I am just able to kind of keep this up over the next few days. As I said, November It is not November yet. It feels like November. Probably why I said it. Anyway, okay, sweet. We gotta square everything up here. I think we'll get. About to say that I think we'll try and get through that pile, but I don't think we will tonight. Considering that I just basically retracted that statement, we will not be. But we've made the decisions about most of the fabrics, and that is also an important part of this. Anyway, March is going to be a hunker down month and just work as much as possible. Because April is, and I signed myself up for this, but it is not so. Basically 3 shows in the month, which is fine, but it is intense. So I will be head down sewing in March, so I hope you guys will join me on that journey. And yeah, I've got a lot of new stuff that I'm super excited to show you guys, like new stitch markers. I saw my post on Instagram the other day. That is one of them. There'll be wire stitch markers. There's also going to be a lot more of like the charm stitch markers coming up as well, which is a bunch of things there. New actual like sewing stuff, probably not so much, because I have to focus on pick your own orders in the next couple weeks, and that's fine. But it does cut into like getting some of the other stuff kind of into production. Good. Gotta make sure that grumpy cat is on there. Like, does it work this way? No, it does not. Okay, we'll throw that underneath and square it up. Yeah. It's like, no, don't do this to me. I'm also super excited that I did get that book sleeve hopefully sorted. I might actually cheat and go do that off camera and see if I can get it settled, because that would be nice to have that off the like mental agenda of like, okay, this is how we actually put it into production. There we go. And like then we can make patchwork ones way easier once I actually have one where I am satisfied with the measurements. Okay, we're going to make sure that we've got Grumpy Owl here like this. Oh yeah, there we go, the Scowly. Scowly Owly is on the front here. Bandana Owl's on the front as well. Good. It's also just like the little stompy feet too. Like, this is one very grumpy owl. Okay, that requires more thought than I can give it tonight. What are you up to? You are actually able to be cut down out of the cloth. Sweet. You will be able to too. Zoom. Oh, this Daruma is actually big enough probably for... Oh yeah, okay, so this Daruma is big enough for an eyeglass case, so we're not going to use it for the pencil pouch. Where should they live? I'm going to throw it in a very random spot, and so when I'm on live stream later and I'm like, where did that Daruma cut go that I was going to use? You are totally allowed to scream at the TV, be like, Katie, it's on the shelf, and you fully admitted you would lose it. But whatever. Add some spice, right? Not the right kind of spice. Oh, okay. Now we have a dilemma. What cat? Because, like, okay, so this is going to end up being cut right here on Stretchy Cat. Okay, and then I have 2 more. So this is another one where it's probably just going to be, I'm going to do a fussy cut of it and deal with it later. Okay. Alright, so all the black cats are causing me problems tonight. Surprise. There. They're over there to be fussy cut. There's more cats. I Actually, more cats should become. I was like, this one's going to become a notions pouch. But no, that is also going to be freaking adorable as a. As a pencil pouch. So it would be cut right about here. Is that enough? No, notions pouches. Large notions pouches. Again, they're scraps, so they're all kind of just a little bit different. Okay. Let's do some of these ones that I don't have to think so hard on. Like Fuji-san, who really, I think, doesn't need anything done to them, besides maybe trimming down their selvage. Maybe? Do we need to trim down selvage? Yes, we can trim down selvage. Sweet. Okay. And then let's throw them on top of the cats. Brown cats. Brown on brown. Excellent. Excellent. And then we're going to throw down the geisha as well. You're wide enough, right? Oh yeah, and you've even got extra. Sweet. That's good. I approve. There we go. Let's do the colorful cats here. This is old. It's actually from when I was still importing from an Etsy seller. So that should tell you. Old. OG. When I talk about OG stash, there's a couple OG stashes. So the OG stash is the stuff that like I bought and imported basically from Etsy sellers. And then the other OG is the OG stuff of like the first trip or within the first couple trips, because it's kind of a blur now. So like I know more cats, I got that in March, but then I also stocked up on it in November as well. Because like high friggin' adorable fabric. Shimmy, get in there. Shimmy, boom. Okay, we're got fabric for all of them here. We're gonna trim down this edge up here to like make it straight. And of course it didn't cut all the way through because we are abusing this rotary cutter. This rotary cutter is not meant to go through this much. Or with that ruler. I hope the most of those are hitting that box. I don't even know. I am absolutely terrified to look right now. Oh well. If they don't, they're at least like kind of over in that corner. These are too small for me to use. Now, we're going to split this in half. Make it easier on me and the ruler, and then we're going to go to bed. Because that is kind of the responsible adult thing to do. If I don't go to bed, the kids will be up at like in 20 minutes. Screaming for me anyway, so. They went to bed very early. Well, okay. They went to bed at their normal bedtime, but they went to sleep way too easily. So you would think that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. Not like a terrible thing, but it does normally mean that I am summoned earlier as well. Oh, this geisha fabric is just... So this is also one of the OG fabrics, actually. This I never bought in Japan. I imported it. It is glorious. Okay, I do really like this ruler, because there is no way I would have been cutting this many layers with the paper templates, because like that was just a surefire way to make sure that I slipped and like cut the template and myself and all of that. So yeah, like the only thing that I could improve with this, and really it's a small improvement, I just can't cut as many layers, is a bigger rotary cutter. Rotary cutters are just expensive. So not as expensive as the ruler, but I guess they are something it's something that I use constantly. So, you know, wine. Things are expensive. Yes, everyone knows Katie. The things are expensive. Yes, Katie, including your work. Okay, I know I said that was going to be the last of the cuts, but apparently it's not going to be, so you're going to have to deal with me for a few more minutes. Okay, so those pieces can both be cut like this. Hi, cat. What's up? Are you the cat? And then... yeah, you are. I know. Is this big enough? I don't think it's big enough, like, long enough to be able to do the full cut from this. No. Okay. And how about you? I think you are. You are? Excellent. Let's put you this way, because then I can trim down your selvage. Now, the other glorious thing about the pencil pouches is there is no... thank you for the hearts. I can see them on my screen. I love it. Anyway, there are no interfacings or anything required. So all we have to do after this is cut the lining and then cut the... cut the lining, pair the zipper, and like all the bits and bobs, so like elastic and oh my goodness, elastic and like fold over elastic for the interior. So there we go. Those are the words. So they come together extremely fast, and I appreciate that. I like not having to worry about interfacing. Alright, these strips are too small, but sketchy cats can go over there for book sleeves. And then we can square up the bottom of this one here. And as you can tell, Flynn is quality control inspecting tonight, obviously, as we chatted at him just a moment ago. Okay, there we go. Line everything up. I'm gonna actually scoot this over this line. Definitely, actually, those are the straight lines. I don't know why I'm not squaring it up with the straight lines that I just cut. Of course. Okay. Anyway, it's the same like idiom as carpentry. It's like measure twice, cut once. And in my case, at this time of night, with how my brain power is going, oh, that's what it is. Talked about the PMS, but I am now on my period, so that is extremely likely the cause of this night's particularly bad brain fog. Because I do swear it's usually not this bad. Oh, they are both. Oh, but those. Okay, so these would be too small for like the book sleeves, I think, but they might be really cute for those ornaments that I was trying to do with the scraps. Sweet. Okay. How many more do we have here? Too many. Too many, Katie. You do not know restraint. That is just barely big enough. We're going to coax that into a nice small notions pouch, I think. Actually, yeah, because I think that edge is actually too small. So we'll use those as individual pieces. Ooh, I just got hungry. Probably because you're up past your bedtime. And you're standing. That'll work. Okay. Alright. So, and then this one with the geisha and the geisha. So if I cut it, I want to leave the geisha on more. So if I put them like this, and we'll cut this top edge of it, then we're good. Okay. We'll turn the cats this way, and then I know which one's the top edge that we want to trim from. We'll do a squaring up on the bottom there. I don't know what that's for. Okay, that was not one of the fabrics we decided on. This is the pile of decided fabrics. That's right. Okay. Hey, we're almost actually through what I laid down there. Awesome. I'll take it. Okay. We need to trim up the selvage on the coffee cup cats. So I'm going to put that towards the fold up here, because that does need to be fully cut down. Okay. Which means that we'll square it up to the bottom line here, because otherwise... Oh no, never mind. A lot more comes off than that. How large are you? We can make 2 out of this. At least. Sweet. That seems like a waste. But it's cute. It'll be adorable pencil pouches. So what we'll do is we'll actually cut one. We'll make a notions pouch. And we'll make a pencil pouch. Okay. Requires too much thought. That pile, I'll deal with that pile, I was going to say tomorrow, but kids will be in the studio tomorrow. Probably still deal with that pile tomorrow, whatever. They're getting better. Oh shoot, I have to drive into the city tomorrow. Bah, I forgot about that. Okay, that one actually does require some more fussy cutting. It's really close to the edge of what we can use, so we'll just deal with it in a minute. Alright, all these selvages are lining up nicely. That will get trimmed down here very rapidly. And then these are not actually large enough. Unless we want to do two-tone. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Wait, how big are you? If I actually cut down... So I have a couple options. I could cut down 1 inch on each side, but that seems dumb to waste the Japanese fabric. So I could cut down 2 inches off of this purple side. And then what would end up happening is you'd end up with like purple on the back. And then like most or all Japanese fabric on the front with like some of it on the back too. That would actually look really cool. Oh no, so these are old needle stashers. They're a little bit too thin to be needle stashers, and so that's why they didn't get finished. But I think that's a really good way to solve that. And the same with the puppy dogs here. Okay. So they are, again, just a little bit too much thought for tonight, but we will deal with them tomorrow. Are you actually long enough? You are. Are you one of those pieces I should have been cutting? You're not big enough. All right, into the notions pouch pile with you. Traitor. Traitor capybara. Dum 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 dum. Wait, I didn't check the. Okay. Okay, so this edge is for sure getting cut as well. This edge is for sure getting cut, so we'll put the fold up here, and then when we do it, we'll pop it just over that line because it needs a little bit of squaring up there. Okay, that's good. We're gonna do width first because I gotta get this. Oh, I don't know why I keep going. That is more than what I can actually do under this ruler. Right, okay. Whatever, we're still learning the limits. That's what we're doing, right? Okay, so let's pop this on the inch line here. And then I can finesse it after that. On the inch line, on the inch line. Oh, some of these are cutting it close for how wide they are. Oh well, it'll be fine. It's like exactly 5 inches for some of these. Okay, are we square? No, we are not. There, now we're square. Are we square? Kind of. We're not square with the 27 mark. There we go. Although these fabrics are too far over that line for my comfort. There we go. Okay. Do 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 do. Sweet. Okay. Off we go. There we go. And actually we're gonna scoot this down just a tick because I need to remember to put the fabrics a little bit further up when I'm doing it that way. So I get this little edge. Okay. Nice smooth cuts, mostly, except for apparently the top here. What happened there? The heck? It must have been because it was the fold or something like that. Okay. Whatever. We're good. Okay. We need to put like the crab selvage plus a little bit over. Not that much. Like that. There we go. Ding. Ding. Well, that's getting cut off. Okay, we're good. We got a good safety margin. There we go. That one hit the box for sure. There's a bag in the box. Because it's a bag of like kimono and obi scraps. And because I kept them separated from the cotton linen blends and all that. Anyway, long story short, it just hit the bag. I heard it hit the bag. So that's a good sign. Alright. We're just going to deal with this piece by itself because it's a lot. It's not. But I don't have a pair of shears here to just like trim it off. I guess what I could do is just move your fancy ruler, Katie. And then we can just like trim this down a bit. Just right there. And it can go in the box. Now that definitely did not hit the box. It hit the closet. Okay. All right, you need a little bit more finesse than just let's hack it up. Not like I'm really hacking any of this up, but Alice needs a delicate touch. All right, you are going to become both. Let's also cut down the polar bears, since why not? We're gonna flip this for sure because the selvages can line up here. There we go. I'm gonna trim this like excess string because it's annoying me. You are large and require more thought than I want to do tonight. You as well, and you as well. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the last cut. I hit my done. The done button got hit, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. But we'll finish up with this, and then, yeah, bedtime. There we go. And then this actually needs to be lined up here, and there, and there, and we're good. Actually going to scoot it in a 1/4 inch. 1/2 inch, I guess. Whatever that is. No, that doesn't look right. Okay. The ivory cats is just a little bit crooked, so we're just gonna, there we go, shimmy it up with the, there. Gonna line it up with the inch here, and there, and here. And there, good. Okay, now we can square it up easier. All right. Yeah, these will be the last ones to cut down. And then tomorrow I will move into, actually, yeah, do you know what? I am going to ignore those extra thought ones, and we will go into linings so I can just get these onto the sewing machine and done for April. And obviously, hopefully, well, not hopefully. Always want to sell out, right? But obviously for moving forward into spring shows and stuff like that too. So the spring stock is starting. Or the spring stocking is starting. Okay, 2 more. 1 and 2. Okay, so that was still extremely, like, I know we pared down that pile quite a bit, but that was a lot of fabric actually cut and ready to go here. So we've got a significant number of actual planter pouches ready to like get sewn, besides their lining obviously. But we went from that like giant pile that Flynn blocked to a whole nice chunk of planter pouches cut, and that was in about because we ironed for the first little bit, so maybe like an hour and 20 or so, like that. So this ruler is definitely going to work really well for like processing this sort of thing. Oh yeah, and we also got the book sleeve done, so I am going to head out because I want to go try that book sleeve, and actually this would work for the book sleeve probably, so I'll set that aside for now. Anyway, I hope you guys all have a fantastic night. I will be back on hopefully tomorrow night again as well, hopefully a little bit sooner actually, and then I will do my darndest to get on Monday for a good long stream as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Bye.